So far, you've seen this deployment right here, which has 3 replicas right here. And currently, the image which is running is this one. So Kubernetes and then hello world. So in here, if I say kubectl get and then po or pods, it's the same thing. You can see that we have 3 running. And if I say expose, expose, oh, actually port forward deployment, and then the name of the deployment, so hello world, or I could say pod and then the name of any of these pods, but let's just say deployment because, so if I say kubectl get all, clear the screen, you can see that we have here. So we have this deployment right here, which is called hello world. We have a replica set. Remember, a deployment gives you a replica set. And then the replica set has 3 desired, which are these 3 pods right here. And we have this service, which we're going to touch on a later chapter. So here, if I say port forward and then deployment hello world, 8081 maps to 80. So if I open up my web browser and here, localhost 8081, you can see that this is the application running. So now let's actually learn how we're going to basically have a version 2 of this same application. Let's say that the version 2, for example, has a different background. Now the way we do it is, so in here, you can see that the only thing that we really have to change is the image name, right? Because this is the image for any version of our application. So in here, the versioning should be something better, right? So 1 or a date, for example, but I've just used hello world for the purpose of this course. And if you want to learn about Docker and image versioning, how to do this properly, then check my Docker course. So in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say dash and then v2. So this is now a new version of the application. So you can even grab this file and then basically make all the changes, right? So at the end, I'm going to give you all of this, don't worry. But if you want to follow along, just say hello world and then version 2. And I basically already built this image. So if I expand this and then go to Docker images, you can see that I have hello world v2. This is a Docker file, very simple. And the difference really, you'll see in a second what's the difference. So if I close this now, and one more thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add an annotation in here. So we have metadata, labels, and then here I'm going to say annotations. And then inside we have this annotation. So kubernetes.io/change and then cause and then column. And then here, I'm just going to basically here you can actually have any message that you want. But basically, I'm going to take this and then I'm going to paste this in here. So you could say, for example, change to version, whatever, right? But I'm just going to leave the change, right? The change cause the same as the new image name. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. So now I'm going to save this. And right here, you can see the entire file. So I'm going to save this. And let me go back to my terminal and let me just cancel out of this. So Control C, Command L, and here, all I have to do is just say kubectl apply -f and then the name of the file, which is deployment.yaml. Enter, and you can see that it's been configured. Now, if I say kubectl get pods -w, have a look. So I just want you to see this, right? So what we have is a few things happening right here, but you can see that. So we have actually 4 running already, right? So this is actually performing the rolling update for us. So it's actually bringing 1 more, and you can see here. So this is 14 seconds ago. This is 9 seconds ago. And basically it's actually bringing new versions of the application and then terminating the old ones. And in fact, it has completely finished. And you can see here, so it did container creating, and then all of these were running, and I actually missed some of these status, right? But you can see here, it says terminating, 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 and terminating. So it means that it actually finished the rolling update for us. And you can see that we only changed the image name, and then Kubernetes went and performed the update for us. Now, if I press Control C for a second, and here, if I say get pods, you can see that we have 3 new pods right here. And all of these pods are running the new version of the application. So if I say kubectl pod forward deployment 8081 or 8080, doesn't matter, right? And now let me go back to my terminal. And remember, before, this was the old version. Now, if I reload the page, check this out. So we have a new version of the application up and running, and this is really cool. So we only changed the image version, and Kubernetes performed a software release with 0 downtime. So this is amazing.